Today inside the program, Radio Democracy, they look at the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources as the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Umaru Napoleon Koroma, can talk about different things for improve the mines and mineral resources sector before. Well, at this time, I want to welcome the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Umaru Napoleon Koroma. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, sir, to you. And good morning, NTU.2 Radio Democracy. Thanks for having me this morning.
I think from a transition from Deputy Attorney General and now to Deputy Minister of Mines, and now we get you, right?
Yes, I'm the first.
So I will say congratulations on your order. It's never too late.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so for a very long time, I don't tell we listen and review them here, but and Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, everything, the change, review of policy and other things, them don't be. I mean, waiting you will like for let people think about when you talk about the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources.
Thank you very much, and good morning, Leone. Good morning, NTU.2 for this opportunity. First of all, like I said, I'm the first time this for Kaya since the elections. I want to take this opportunity for thank Australians and for peacefully vote in the last elections, both presidential, parliamentary. Thanks for Australians for keeping the peace since after the elections, so we continue to move forward. That said, after the elections, of course, His Excellency the President, Diman Fitse, for reassign me from the Ministry of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice for go serve now the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. Ministry, we very technical ministry. We deal with a lot of course, mining issues. But also it's a ministry we depend heavily on issues relating to international foreign investment, what we call foreign direct investment, FDI, and the inflow of that investment to the country borders on a lot of issues relating to laws, rules, and regulations. Because most of we minerals that we get in the country, for exploit them, we need huge capital investment into the thing, and mostly the capital will need not to we get them foreign businesses, then they come with them for can invest them in large scale mining, and for that they can do that we need laws and regulations they govern them, so that at the end of the day, as they exploit minerals, and people of this country go benefit them. Of course, way back in 2009, under the last administration, they began to pass the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009. We began to deal with everything that has to do with mining in Australia and how the people of this country benefit. Now, be a very, very good move at that time. We be move from a basic degree, we be the cover of mining sector, and to a proper act with Parliament be passed. Don't forget, Australia don't begin mining at this country since the 1920s. For over 90 years, under the British colonial masters, they established a lot of mining institutions where they be the mine. Come to after independence will continue, but I'll be the first that will get an act.
Okay.
So in 2000.
Okay, Mr. Minister, take we listen and view them the current status of activity at the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources since you don't take over as Deputy Minister.
All right. In 2022, His Excellency Julius Madabio and the SLPP government through Parliament decides we need to review the Mines and Minerals Act. So we review the Mines and Minerals Act and we'll pass it to call now the Mines Minerals Development Act. This time around, we call it the Mines Mineral Development Act because we actually believe we'll go for use of minerals in this country for develop we country. So not only that, after we pass the Mines and Minerals Development Act, we also go for pass Parliament in April for plenty in 2023. They also passed what they call the National Mineral Development Corporation Act. We believe for use of minerals and for create wealth for developed country. So the act we don't pass them, a very new act, and the president will appoint Mr. Julius Matai, who was the head of the National Mineral Agency. We are an expert in the mining sector for be the minister and me for be the deputy. So now presently we work on regulations then for implement the act. These regulations they are going for govern everything we going for do with the full implementation of this act here we don't pass. And this act here comprehensive to the point that it clearly spell out the relationship between the mines and minerals, the ministry and the mineral agency with the professional wing of the ministry. And it also clearly stipulates how for use mineral resources, who's how for exploit, who for exploit, and how the people of this country are going for benefit. So within the process of preparing the regulations, once we pass the regulations, the minister pronounce them, then we will move forward. But going forward, in line with President Bio vision for the mineral sector, who clearly state in the manifesto of His Excellency Julius Maada Bio 2023, or if you look at page 95 and 96 of the manifesto President Julius Maada Bio put forward, they clearly outlined priorities and we want to do in the mining sector, how we want to develop the mining sector, how we want to generate revenue for develop the country. Based on their priorities, and they would also try to align with them. So quite recently, the minister began to lift a moratorium that we don't place on the issue of exploration in this country. Maybe come for explain that to later. But so far so good, we're in the process of implementing the act. Right. And once the act comes into full operations, we will go for be a very, very active and very active ministry, and we're going for a lot of things and we will go through around the mining sector.
All right, Mr. Koroma, not a secret again for no say for over years, Salone don't they mine different, mineral than the country, and from the time when they begin mine some of the mineral then they up till now, the mineral then they actually not on the show on the ordinary Salone people. So waiting different this trip, owner go do. We will make the mineral them in the country begin benefits the ordinary Salone people.
Okay, thank you very much. Like I say, we don't begin mining at this country for a very long time, like you rightly said. Mostly we get artisanal mining. We in the local people then they mine the gold or the diamond. We get directly now for their own benefit. We begin get large scale mining activities in very recent times. Under the then APC administration, they hear about the London mining and the African mineral. We be the two big large scale mining and then they operate later on it turned to Shandong. But under the last what we decide for do under the last administration of Julius Maada Bio, they try for expand on before able to encourage more investment in the mining sector. So that we'll get more large scale, because if you get more large scale mining, that's the time you able to get more taxes, more royalties being paid, and more employment opportunities being open. So inside the last 5 years, we try for expand further into the mining sector in terms of large scale. We still able to continue with the Leone mining. We now transform to SL mining and later Morampa mines, and later on Shandong will be closed under the last administration. We began for reopen again under the Kinho mining operations, and now Leone Rock and they fully operations. And we also try for establish large scale mining in terms of gold, the exploitation of gold. Apart from diamond, of course, we don't exist the Kwedu Holdings, the Mea apparently in Israeli operations. So we get a couple of large scale mining licenses. Them we government be don't give over the years, close to over 26 licenses them, but not all of them don't come into full operation yet. Some still in the process of building up and developing the mine. But we are happy that the good news is that some of them will be getting license, then they do further exploitation and exploration for them able to see what are the deposits they will get in this country. So at the end of the day, like for example, we get FG Gold. We in a Bauman Gold concession. This concession be don't fall in the hands of different people that they be don't they come for try for exploit them with the neighbor. But luckily for we, FG Gold because for do further study, they drill further and further, and now they're about for establish one of the biggest gold mines and maybe will be in the sub-region. And in that process, once they complete landing, they will go into full operations.
So and at this moment, waiting you will see about una data they show for the different mining company them within the country where they operate fully.
The one that they do in full operations, of course, they operate and can be a little bit seasonal. This might be the rainy season. Some of them be the operations they still go on, but not on that level. But now the rains are done, they have come back again. And the one that they do in full operations in the area of iron ore, we still get, of course, Marampa mines. They operate. Leone Rock, they operate in the Damo area, Kwedu Holdings, Mea, they're all fully operational. What should they try for do? The other one, the way they don't get the large scale mine, they try for because the process of mining, when developing the mines, it therefore takes some time. The professionals, if they can, they will go for explain, tell you, because when they develop some of the lifespan of the mines, then they for maybe 20 years, some above 20 years. So that process will therefore really take time for able to develop and establish them. build places then we for accommodate workers then build the plants that we need, build the all infrastructure around there. So to tell you they come in today and go and begin to one tomorrow. But once you don't settle down, then you don't build that infrastructure there, you expect for the lifespan of that mines, they probably maybe some they last for 20 years, some even more. Like we did hear about Sierra Ruta and others, they don't need it forever and they're all in place. But basically, we as a ministry, we're very, very much concerned, and we therefore make sure under the Mines and Minerals Act development, we don't give more powers to the ministry and the professional body, we not the NMA. We make sure we implement the regulations to the fully and do the monitoring they will need for do so that the people of this country are going to benefit from the resources.
So, Mr. Minister, one other important issue is the difference between the NMA and that of the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, because also issue on the between mining monitor them, the ministry they employ, then NMA they recruit. In addressing some of the challenges, who stage on a day for let people get a proper understanding for let on a different distinguished mandate they out there to the public.
Okay, the new act, of course, very much clear and explicit about that. The National Mineral Agency, as the name implies agency, not just an arm of the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. It actually is supposed to be the professional wing of the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, who say you get the professionals then where they deal with mining related issues. The ministry, of course, now a policy arm of the administration. The ministry and they provide the policy. If the two institutions then, of course, not supposed to get any issues, they're supposed to work hand in glove. Because when we develop policy, saying that this one, like under we manifesto, the 8 priorities the president highlighted on the manifesto, we the ministry developer into policy. When we develop it to policy, minister will take it to cabinet. Once it is approved, then we bring and come to them for implementer. And we expect for let them take that directive there, for let them implement, waiting that the policy with the ministry don't develop. So there is not really much, maybe probably only do with people their perception or individuals and issues them. But in terms of the broader operation and the broader spectrum, now the ministry and in NMA, not just an agency under the ministry, and they work directly under the ministry, under the supervision. And if you look at the act, it's very clear who that get the authority, which is the minister, in this case, the Minister of Mines, you know, where is not available, the deputy, and and it come down. So pretty much issue no day. Well, I don't count at the ministry, and I'll take maybe full 1 month it since me approval in parliament and in August, and we just not coming. But the relationship so far is very good. I don't come over there. I don't come to the enemy who they just over to Nanaya. I don't meet to the professionals there. And me and the minister will message be very clear. Of course, the minister now, we did it before, now that the minister, so relationship very cordial. And the message to me was very clear that we are here for carry on and implement the policies of the president we want to implement in the mining sector. Now I appoint you follow serve. So whosoever is willing, ready, and prepare for work with you follow implementing policies, then we are ready to ride.
All right.
We are not ready for that one day, then you will excuse me. But so far so good, there are no issues, and I believe we're going to have a very good working relationship, and we are bound to have that for the interest of the people of this country.
All right, Mr. Koroma, you mentioned first about 26 large-scale mining license we don't give to different company there. So, where company come for get license? What are the criteria where government they look at?
Well, it clearly stipulated in the act again, so but we'll not get time now for go through that one day with the provisions.
Just in brief for
provisions.
Okay,
no, basically before 2020, we'll be actually put a ban on exploration. Company they normally come, they apply for what we call exploration license, meaning they say they want to go around for letting explore and see who sign mineral there, how they want to do. After that process, they can apply for the exploration license. Then when they don't see what they want for, they can apply for large scale mining. Of course, before you apply for the large scale mining, the land, the mineral rights belong to the people of this country, protected and guided by the government of Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone government, we don't develop a mining cadastre in which the entire country, we know the mapping So if you come, you say, now this area are interested in the mining, that they plot out for no say, they within any other person in your area, whether not a concession, they don't give somebody else or somebody else to operate in that area. Once they don't do that one day, you can go back to the community, we say you want for good do. We get what you don't call there's an agreement between the community people and you at one level. Then you get for go do your environmental impact assessment, where you get for go through, whether a private company for them go do that and they bring country the EPA, there's monitor and they know say we say one for go do this mining here, you not get anything adverse to environment, for anything within an area where government don't say this are protected area, either for we marine environment or we other areas we don't protect, like the protected forest and the areas where they don't do all of their studies and then you don't get all the documentations then prepare. Of course, you have to be a registered company in the Republic of Australia, fully registered and in full compliance with the law. We don't get all the documents and then they come to the enemy, when I start the process, they do all the plotting, they know so you're fully compliant, they can prepare you documents and then take them back again. We get the Minerals Advisory Board, we're at the MEB, it's not just a summary, we sit at the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. The MEB, they sit, they review all of the documents and they say they're in full compliance and if it's proper for be granted the license, then they can forward on to the Minister of Mines for
So you want to say all the large-scale mining company, they go through this procedure just as you state them? There's nothing like influence or anything with the work?
Not to my knowledge, it's up to you.
Okay.
It's in a journalist, have you passed me?
No, that question I asked you for the answer.
Not to my knowledge.
The travel way just come out na talk you say go showcase different thing them about salon. Still get for do with the issue of license, Mr. Koroma. During the term when I can get license to company them where one can do mining in a salon, or I can do background check of some of them company they are like waiting at some of the activity them where they don't do now other side them.
Yes, like I say, for let you apply for get mining license in Sierra Leone, of course you got to be a registered company. Normally, you can get, of course, foreign companies that they come, they register now under the Companies Act. Then you even get Australians when they put together their companies, they register their company and express their interest for coming to the mining sector. When Australians with their companies, or their businesses. So once, like I say, they don't go through all the processes, then I'll just be the try for summarize now, do the environmental impact assessment, come to the Ministry of the enemy can do the plotting at the mining cadastre, she'll see that area they indeed that area away for mine and offer with any other concession and they start all in processes then they only stop at the enemy. The other second layer of check where the act provide for and the establishment of the Mines and Minerals Board when at the MEB, they say they look at them, they say okay, this is in full compliance with everything we don't ask for. Now that they forward on to the minister for his signature. The current minister was at the NMA for the last 4.5 years, and he did a fantastic job at the NMA for make sure say anybody we the come for car apply for license, they in full compliance with the law and the provisions. Because you can for sure a lot of things in your finances, and if you come for car apply for large scale mining, of course there is a fee where they pay. When you pay that fee, they the Act made provision since 2009 of $500,000 so they pay for large scale mining license. So once you pay that fee, say you are coming into a very serious business and possibly they can do business now for maximize gains and profit. So then they come and you have to be very more serious and you have to be ready and prepared for coming to the business and for investing them. And they come for company because if you come for company, you pay you license fee, do it right. Of course, and a yearly renewable. If the year don't renew again, of course the ministry get the power for remind you for the renewal. If you cannot comply again, they can revoke and make them to another person who interested in that area they for mine.
The area of corporate social responsibility or mining company giving back to mining communities of which they do activity, don't be a lot of concern and challenge. And where you see you predecessor yourself inside September 2021, will be the
0.00.1%
amount
we get. The more large scale mining, the more the large scale mining that we get, the more the better in terms of investment within the mining sector. But if you get only a few of them, the rest all are artisanal, it becomes a very difficult issue.
All right. My colleague just asked about political influence. And again, if you check, most of them companies they are working can do mining in the country must get politicians them with it before on them company then they. So how not on the monitor for make sure say politics not unbug the revenue where government supposed forget?
How 98.2 and journalists and politics. Sometimes I can make we are the top politicians, make a difference in a different thing when they talk about. Or aliens, politicians and are just like me, you too. You don't have tomorrow you can be a politician, the president be anything for appoint you tomorrow, then they will call you politician. But anyways, like I say, it doesn't we don't look at not about your position or your color. Me not be in the industry, but me don't care now at the industry. Maybe minister will very much clear and will very much focus on what we come for. Two things. One, waiting President Bureau promised a manifesto to the people of this country. We did deliver on that one. Now 8 points. Edina Mihan at the past with them. I can cite the page 95 and 96 when I go look at them. That will they deliver on that. Two, we have a Mines and Minerals Development Act. We spell out saying we for regulate or for go by that law day. Whether you know whatever name you carry, as you mention, if you know they in compliance with the provisions of the act they will get now and the regulation where they can put, definitely we will not look beyond that. We'll be looking within the scope of the law and we'll be looking within the regulation where the ministry can put out. So it doesn't matter whether we don't know who is actually by definition a politician, but if Israeli come with a company, we say this not a company, I have a share, I have an interest in it, you got to make sure say you go by waiting the law say, you comply with the provisions then, you go through all the processes then when you reach at the minister in desk, we're very much versatile. He's been in the mining sector for so many years, he know the in and out of it. If you see all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, then they will sign off to a license. If not, then you will not have it.
So in line with that same issue there, for let the company them go through all the procedure as you don't state, say that so they go through. How una can try again for ensure say una continue for monitor for ensure say let them no longer sign to certain agreement or way where they for do the mining, or we gonna the field of the mining. It's totally different from waiting they don't sign to.
All right, thank you very much. Good one. We get of course two areas then there. We get what they call the mines monitors them within the all over the country. We get the mining supervisors them back within they by region, they by district, some even they by mining locations them. They do all over the country. And some of these mining companies as well again get government representatives and they for represent the interest of government. But the mines monitors them we don't recruit and they all over and the business for let them monitor the activities of their mine and then they mining and report to the Directorate of Mines and Mineral Resources. So, I mean, of the enemy, if there are any issues, we will say that they go against what they don't sign up to, the brand camp, they will intervene, interrogate them, and call their attention to. Because this is a partnership sort of. The communism, they don't come with their investment. We own as a government also in our own business for protect the interest of them foreign investors and because they are coming from another country, they have been backed by their state where they come from for can invest in our country. So once you don't go out of the line, they tell you, they call your attention, say this is what you've done. If you fail for comply and continuously, then they get the power for receiving the mining license.
So, Mr. Minister, in terms of the mines monitor them, I want to ensure say whatever reported they go and genuine because most of them don't they get issue about saying salary payment say it's too the low. Looking at the fact say that the monitor big company. You know, things say the issue of compromise gets a chance for probe into some of them monitor, then they will look at the challenge where they get within, government institution them in terms of the salary and other treatment.
Well, in addition to the report of the ministry also gets an operational aspect of it. Most of the time, the minister himself or the deputy minister or the ministry, they move for go around for visit all the big mining companies around the country. Inside the month, couple of times, or inside the couple every 3 months, or they go all around.
Well, most of them can move based on the fact that they go launch something of their mining company in the not so like on a sports check where the mining company they're not aware of.
No, now I tell you now, so they do on the sports check. That's the operational aspect. The deputy minister, if the minister too busy with policy issues, they always move around within team of professionals and they go on the spot, unannounced. They go most of them mining areas and they go move there, they reach there in some areas and they mean say you are within and you go the professional. If you map tell you say now within there for day, you don't go out of the map, then they meet you there, they take action there and then. So they move around. And I'm going to be a deputy minister who is not going to, because me a village boy, I left for worker.
So you want it?
I don't want to be sitting in the office all the time. I go off for watching.
In line with the mines monitor them, you want to say in any case there is no way where some will be compromised. Looking at the fact say they get so many challenge. An example get for do their salary for the fact say that they monitor big company, but we look at what they pay them, they can say that's not still commensurate to the work where they give out.
I cannot tell the nature of a human nature. Now human beings they are there to do a job. They've been employed for report and everything, and they give them report the day. When they give them report the day, like I see, there are several layers. And they can't get the report, and the report is being acted on by writing. If it is positive or negative, they write to the mining company for telling us this is what we've gotten. And in addition to that one day again, there are a lot of on-the-spot checks there, which is being done by the ministry for confirm or reaffirm some of those reports there, or for debunk which are the report there that they give. The other side we have to talk about. That could be the other side we probably, not from your eyes or from your attention. But like I say, I'm just less than a month in that ministry.
All right.
Going forward, I'm going for the takes up to you, 98.1. I still can go to the on-the-spot check. Take you, your radio and the camera and the logo.
All right.
Unannounced. So we'll reach and we'll see what they do exactly, and the people of this country are going to know exactly what they happen.
As of now, almost mining company they want to get on that data.
NMA will be able for provide that they, but like I say,
still now they
in terms of
supervise them.
In terms of the one that we apply for license, we then get, of course, large scale mining. The different ways of them. We get large scale mining, we get small scale mining, we get artisanal mining, and all our company they get forget business force, they forget company force. We register a company for before ever go apply for the license. Then they, in terms of the large scale and the big one, there we get license them issued over 20 companies them. But in terms of full scale operations, they not all they into full scale operation. Some still in the process of developing their mine, some in the process of preparing for start full operation. But the big one, the one they're doing to full operation in terms of iron ore and gold and diamond, then they about 6 of them, and they're into full operations. And the other one, the back way, they don't apply and pay for the licenses. Then they can develop their mines there. And they, of course, the small scale, then they use the small dozer. They are mainly 80% of that level. The Australians then where they're interested into mining, and they say they do of course you get the artisanal one, they want the small one, then where they say they do their own mining activities then. But the industry is very, very much active, and people that they apply every other day for let them come into the business for let them continue for do exploration for minerals and able for mining in the country.
The ministry are aware of any mining company we name Ross Mining Company we don't operate in Akonodi Street from 2019.
You see, if it's a mining company we don't operate from 2019, definitely there should be data on them, and the enemy is supposed to forget one day, and we'll have to check with that. But there is no company when a mining company we operate on a license, we not go through the process of being issued a license.
So, but again, in line with that, on also aware say get some mining company where they doing illegal activity, but yet still una not get data of them, but yet still they exploit, and take the country mineral them.
It depends on the scale of mining they talk about.
But anyone get right for exploit, do any mining activity without going through the right process?
Well, that's not a mining company.
But they are existing, Mr. Minister.
You only become a mining company, like I say, we don't apply for mining rights. You don't go through the process, and you have been issued a mining license. If you don't do that, then you're a mining company. Anything other than that, you are not a mining company.
Okay, so now let's look at another issue very important. We see on September 15 a public notice come out from the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. Also, on say on leave the moratorium on be put on exploration license with immediate effect. We via them need for no. Waiting be the reason first of all wanna be put a ban on this particular issue before you can talk about why wanna lift them.
All right, couple of issues. Now, exploration basically now before people they come, before ever like I talked earlier, before ever you can put your money say one for miner at the large scale level, you can for do exploration first. Now only through that exploration you can for know the quantity of the deposit they look for and the commercial viability of that deposit. Now, as a result of the exploration they did, if you recall, in the days of Jankaba, SLDC, with the exploration, we lead to the establishment of the African minerals, where they continue up to this day. They transform to different stages to Shandong, now Quinho and Leone Rock. Now, as a result of the exploration, as a result of exploration, we companies like Mia, where they do gold and diamond now come into existence. So then they do the exploration Then, at some point in time, by the time His Excellency Julius Maada, they come into power, and Mr. Matai, who is now the current minister, was appointed as director of NMA. The process, there were a lot of applications upon applications, piling upon piling, everybody come. And to the process of other applications, then how be the developed, which I talk about just on the mining cadastre, when like a mining map, we know they show any collusion between companies or among companies in one area. They realize people they apply one exploration, they apply for another one. We already have somebody hand and everything. So there was a need for sanitizing them. Additionally, as well, there was a need also for review. This act here now will get maybe 2009 act, and that process they don't just come in. Thirdly, also, it is only the process for the negotiate with the World Bank, with them one for do what they call the airborne geophysical survey, for able to establish the mineral occurrences right across the country. So as a result of that, government thought and fit at that time, and as a policy said, this issue about exploration, now put everything on hold. What we don't do all the processes them, we don't see, we don't do them. Now we don't pass the act. The act don't do full operation. The regulations they come out very soon, and the mining cadastre has been properly sanitized with the mapping of the country mineral map properly created. We don't decide now, say, we lift the ban on exploration again, and all previous licenses people that we don't apply for it in the process, we don't cancel all of that. So we are starting the process afresh, going through by the processes there as established by the Mines and Minerals Development Act 2022.
So how the different people who they do mining business, that investor them aware of this new act and the things the way they speak to, because this act only regulates the mining activity in the country?
Yeah, first of all, we got any law with the power, we get website, both the NMA, the National Mineral Agency, very active website, and also the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources get a website, a very active website. Anything they do within the mining sector, we put on there for let the public know. So then investors, the way they want for come, like country, they have to search.
So for open now on our website, this everything they now?
Oh yes. All we go there, they see everything about mining in Australia, what you want for, what you need for do, all the process that they will continue for update and improve on and more, so that will make the process more easier and more accessible to people that are interested in. So now based on the information they are, make the express interest. In addition to that, again, Australia also only participate over the years, year in, year out, inside one of the biggest mining activities in the world, we don't call it mining in Daba, where they normally take place in South Africa.
Okay.
It's in April.
Before we go for that break there, Mr. Koroma, you made a mention about the airborne survey and exploration. Firstly, some people at times can get confused. What's not the difference between the airborne survey and the exploration?
All right. Thank you very much. Basically, like I said earlier, exploration, where mining companies and they go for exploration license. Exploration license, they give the mapping area. They move for drill holes then for check for the mineral way available at this area. So for example, if you can't say in a gold you want for mine now, they say the gold located now, you need to know within the quantity of that gold way did it. If that gold the way they under, it do for able for investing money for exploit and commercially and export them. How many houses them? Before ever that night they give you the business information for able for apply for a large scale mining license and develop a mine for them. What the airborne geophysical survey be do for they fly drones right across the country for that able for show, we get magnet for able for pick up our mineral occurrences right across the country. So now, for instance, the data day, of course, it did to within our NMA, it's a public document, but government they release them for a fee to mining companies where they're interested for go do further study. So the geophysical survey tells you that there are mineral occurrences here. You tell you, see, here we get gold now, here we get diamond, here we get iron ore, here we get bauxite, here we get lithium, etc., etc. But what is the quantity of those deposits? How spread it is? You can only know that now by doing further exploration for able to know exactly the quantity. They go now say, I want for can put 10 million, 20 million, or 40 million for now able for building machinery, for able to exploit that mineral within there. So, but people that they always feel say after the geophysical survey, it don't tell you every tool will get, we don't need exploration. You know, they were missing that, they were missing the point. The data they show, the data will direct you. The easier thing now, the only easy thing for we now, instead of first time under the exploration, you move wide all over the place. Now with the geophysics, you tell you say, yeah, now this there. So all you need for doing now for going under further exploration, for drill further and know the quantity and how large spread it is. So that's not the relationship then. So the data for the geophysics it is, and then the enemy, you go there, you pay for them, the type we want, they can send them for you. If you want it electronically, they send them for you. Everywhere we do this all there. If you want it, once you don't pay, the money don't show you don't pay, you don't register or self-register, they can send you the information, they can able to do your desk research and study them. Then, but you still need to come back again at the ground for no say, this are the quantity, this not how big this one they are, for make that big business institution for taking money and invest in them for buy the machinery that we require for the further exploitation of them minerals. So which is why the minister in wisdom recently thinks it was very much good and befitting for say we lift back the moratorium we be doing exploration so that mining companies then will begin apply again for let them do further exploration and know say the minerals and there and the quantity than this and they go for apply for the large scale mining and definitely that go for give more large scale people that really can do mining on a large scale. They will benefit to country.
All right. So within this data they show in terms of almost mineral them the country get presently.
It just they show the different types of minerals they all get in the country. The one that the way everybody know about. Then the data able for show the new one the way they say it will corner we country. But we need further study for know with the volume. Like people they talk about lithium, like new battery mineral we needed all over the world. The data pick up so we get some deposits there somewhere. With the quantity of that deposit day, we need a study there for able to establish that one day. Of course, the gold, the diamond, the bauxite, the rutile, the iron ore, it shows say there are more other areas that will not be exploited before it, you know. And every other minerals and way they be exploit many years ago during colonial times, and later they abandoned like chromite, where they be the mine Kenima area where they be abandoned. The data able for pick them up, say the one they was still there. But we still need for do further study for know which side they properly located, with the quantity. Now only that quantity, that volume, now go inform any business person. Now you go for able for can invest, or now go for give even the government of Australia a bankable project where government will say this way and I will get now the volume this, now the amount this way involving them, and this one very much important for we go for take for leverage a lot of finances for take part in other infrastructural development that we the country need.
All right, the lithium we you mentioned, how to about that? We understand say it did not the northern part of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, well the data be pick them up, the geophysical survey be pick them up, say they occur somewhere, and some company came, they apply for a large scale mining for that area they are on it. How far they don't go in terms of the deposit, in terms of exploitation, they are still on it and doing their further studies on it. But the occurrence show, but what with the quantity and with the volume, that not in the geophysics show, like I said earlier. It not show the geophysics not show the quantity of any deposit. It only shows the occur now. Now that further study they tell you the quantity and the volume where they did. And that volume they will serve with the pray God for, let's show say anywhere where they say, for example, in Kwenadugu they say bauxite occur on that part. We need for good for able for establish with the quantity of that bauxite, we able for get a bankable project for the investors and can invest in.
So, Mr. Minister, the issue of interest of people already in a mining community don't be concerned. For say the one already in charge for regulate all mining activity, not to don't put the people interest, rather then get another interest where they look at how this new leadership that the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources go change that perception. They because don't see also picking they were not supposed to then to add labor they involved in mining activity. Some workmen they can die, and the way how some of the mining company them can react or respond to the death of the workman them, I mean also it can be too friendly.
The issue about mining and how they benefit is not only the interest of the mining community, it's the interest for all Australians. And we business now for make sure each and every Australians, including you and I sitting here, will benefit for the mineral resources we God don't give we as a country. For specifically the mining companies and their responsibility, let me tell you say before you did give mining license, you sign up for comply with everything. The environment inside the mine for be conducive, for make sure say those who are going to work there they are protected and safe. If you go for go begin mine, they begin go against which you don't sign up to, come to the knowledge of the ministry. There are punitive actions provided for under the act. They get the power, the minister through the government of Australia get the power for rescind the mining right and cancel your license.
Now, get for do that in any way. If mining company fall short, we go soon take
such
decision.
If we get it come to knowledge, it's investigated and it's proven that it is correct. Definitely, we will not hesitate for take the right action in the interest of our country and our people.
Another morning again. Ake money man, ake money ake fambo. Ake animals them vex for die man. Animals them vex for die. Ake na the person they can call me waka but the lizard at a tapando. Ate tapande. Night about waka but we happy. Na te you know really. Ate na ya unge. Ayata them bitante wetu yai die. Na all day. We say level the what where they gone. We see big fish all gone. Waiting we eat pang die. Ate Nadia Kachebo, this is for continue. Ate look like the for continue. Now would I get to the name though? Nine then say this is no left Boko again. Oh, the only one we left na that boy cow. Na say Ate I know they go under mine. I know they reach under. Ate what I know reach under because I know it's all. And me no sabi rap battle man. I not telling rap battle. Ate one move gas. Ate God sabi make promise. Ate na me reach our God the chain. No, inside this 2023, before they done, Salon go plan to buy 2 million chicken nase. I say now shy. Where the ground? I look out the ground been there, and I get now nase. I say go. Usa would the plant then chicken? I say now. The issue about the land business na concern. I think a big concern. I say when you put the land na concern, you say that you go do something, go and come, you go don't see person say na migrate am. I say man they don't look like for land business so I know one select some people go turn this planting tree as a way of getting land. Now for the tomorrow mind, I think me picking the draw me attend to take daddy. Now say yes doctor, now say daddy boy. It's a discussing what you been they say ora. It's a natural this one. Now say I say welcome to the country. Where if you have beer no more than 1 week. If we go to beer that 1.5 week, other thing we can take over and I show you left man. I say, na show me good friend you left, oh. Na show me good friend you left, and still, I say, me own good friend, me own good friend, they carry on and things still the same man. I say, this place is still getting wire. I say, embossing office in Fiba, present office. Not that you don't understand. I say, welcome to the land of you must bet, you know. Fambul. Ati mental health long boku now, na make me no dey talk boku. Ati me no dey go far. Ati now they keep me mental health while before they talk say, sick me that, na go that. Keep your mental health too, because na so person they tell me say what about it, say me woman want me, I say for waiting, he say for clothes, but they clothes, now say boo. Tell her let go photo lab. All thing dey. Me na the honorable Akabot.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue. Well, from Wakabot, we come over to our studio guest. We get the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Umaru Napoleon Koroma. He don't talk on different, on a plan for improvement in the mining sector. Now, one important one, now revenue, how much they collect from the mining activity them. How this new leadership really plan for boost the revenue collection, especially for change the belief where some people get say government the losses pass waiting together.
Thank you very much. In fact, Dana one of the commitments of His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, manifesto on page 95 and 96. If you read down, I think point 3 or point 4 is talk about how we go for generate revenue. But we even go beyond than the mining sector. The president's dream is not only about generating revenue for the big mine, the one way they come. President even think about saving for use we own very minerals and for create wealth for the people of this country by having some of the mineral assets then under the full control of government, and government able for manage them and get enough resources to able for invest back again in the development that they on cause. And Parliament also last year be passed the Mines and Minerals Development Corporation, where they speak to the one day and within the process of its implementation. But basically the mining companies already say from 2009 they be done pay, there was a license fee. Under the new regulations, so they pass under the new act since 2009 to date, we are even considering see how we go for example, increase the license fee for the large scale mining licenses then, so that will bring additional revenue to government. Now they can start exploration as well. The fees for that exploration they put for the campaign from OTBD, and we get for think about again how that they get for come up, so that they go for bring additional revenue to the government coffers. And additionally also the new mining companies already come. We're going to negotiations with them, and you don't see the strategy of this government here in renegotiating some of the agreement. You don't need to see government don't need to take some interest in some of those mining agreements that they sign. For example, they renegotiate the SL mining agreement with another Marampa mining, government go ahead and take 10% interest in those companies, so that if they become very, very much viable and interesting in terms of their productivity, government able for get their revenue, then they go for block and back into the society. So,
Mr. Koroma, you just come out Turkey. Tell me so far, waiting some of the things that we will present to the world.
Wow, thank you very much. Turkey was a good one. Turkey will be a conference, they call it the World Investment Forum, in which the Turkish government and some other organizations at Turkey bring out all investors in the world in different areas, including mining at Turkey, for let them come talk about the various investment potentials that we then get in the countries in. Africa be of course highly they on the stage. Sierra Leone was invited. The organizers and they fully pay for the trip, the ticket, the accommodation, the feeding, etc., was provided by the organizers them. And we'll go the Israel in a platform for let Sierra Leone present which we get. Because Sierra Leone, a lot of people they hear about Sierra Leone, and the story they hear about Sierra Leone is different. Some don't come, some they Igbo term, and they read very little about the Australia on the social media. So I be get a platform and I use that opportunity for tell the world, say, despite the small nature of the country, a country this we very much rich in terms of mineral. It will not start from mine for over 90 years, but we are yet to exploit our full potential in the mining sector. So I extend an invitation to the world. See, they get a lot for Can Australia for benefit from Sierra Leone. Australia get again for benefit from them. I also able for tell and see the story of Sierra Leone. We need for tell and now, and we are very much prepared, poised, and ready for go out there and tell your own story and showcase which we self get as a country. Because all other countries that they do them. If you look at big television networks like CNN and everything, you see those countries in the former Soviet Union, the Kazakhstan, the Croatia, the other, they do advertisement about their country for let people they know what they did. So we they go tell the world, and the stage was good. In the opening of the conference, they give me a platform with few countries that will come up from Africa. There are so many countries, but only a few countries in Africa be able to speak along the Turkish authorities. And on the closing date of the program, in the presence of their deputy foreign minister, minister of trade, and some other very important people there, and billionaires and the world really invest. They also give you another platform for give Israeli a platform for the closing remarks, which I did, and to the applause of the entire gathering. And after the meeting, we get what we call B&B, person-to-person engagement, and a lot of people that will be good, investors will be interested in different areas in Australia, especially in the mining sector. We can forget personal engagement there with them. We exchange contact, we have discussions, and some of them definitely express interest and concern. They will do further research about Australia, and definitely they will be packing their bags and heading to Australia.
So before you left with listening and viewer them, the changes in assurance and also for let people see reality to the mining sector now one were very important. Apart from which you don't talk now, also what we go left to people and say with the new leadership now the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, people really go see change of reality.
Yeah, definitely. We came in this September. We came in basically in August. We take up offices and everything. But I can assure them, say the minister, who is Mr. Julius Matai, a technocrat who's been in the mining sector for so many years, under the NMA, now kind of the helm of the ministry, and myself. We also believe a lawyer of well-known practice a little bit. They engage a lot of international investment, and I study international investment at advanced level as well. I understand the environment and the mentality of the investment space.
Okay.
So we two go able to combine together for make sure we become very, very more strong and forceful in speaking the minds of Australians when it comes to negotiating those new mining agreements, and even come to ensuring that those mining companies already they operate in this country, they are in full compliance with the law, and make sure the full potential are being realized, and people are able to benefit from mineral resources in this country.
Okay, well, that's now the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Umaru Napoleon Koroma. We be talk on the things that they don't do, and the one they would implement for improve the mines and mineral sector go before now the country. Plenty thank you. We be with guests inside the program. Good morning, Salon, this Monday morning.
Thank you very much.